my own podcast. I'm Vanessa Erickson. I'm your host, and I'm here to bring you influential leaders talking about data, AI, innovation, and leadership. And today with me, I have none other than the CEO and Managing Director of L&T Technology Services, Amit Chadha. Welcome, Amit.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
It was the last time we met was in the US, and now we're not in India, where we both come from. We're in Sweden.
We're in Stockholm.
We're in Stockholm. And normally the sun always shines here.
I know. I mean, I've been coming to the Nordics now for 14 years, and I love it.
Oh, good. That makes us happy now, doesn't it? Yeah. L&T have this amazing ambition to be one of the top 3 global players in R&D and engineering services. There's so much happening. Do you want to tell us a little?
Sure. So I should actually start, given the fact that we're in the Nordic region, you should know that the history of L&T started with 2 Danish engineers who ended up going to India in the 1940s and starting the company. And the company since has progressed. Our goal always at the group level has been to be either number 1 or number 2 in whatever we do. And we say that with pride, and we say that with a lot of humbleness, because we believe that we need to make an impact, and when you're making an impact, you got to have purpose, you got to have, of course, a drive and ambition, but more importantly, along with empathy, you got to be able to have the scale. And therefore, being number 1, number 2 is very important. The business I run now, and I've been here 15 years in the company, CEO for 4 years. When we started, I don't even know to count where we were. The ambition was to be the largest pure play engineering services company globally. As I stand today, we are number 1 pure play engineering services headquartered out of India, number 3 globally, and if I take IT and engineering combined, we drop down to number 6 globally. It's our humble ambition to get to number 1 pure play.
Cool.
And get to being top 3 or top 2 with IT engineering combined globally.
That is so amazing. That is wonderful. And I wish you all success, of course.
Thank you.
Congratulations on winning the Sustainable Diversity Leadership Award.
Thank you.
At the Girls in Tech Nordics this year.
Thank you so much. This is very important because, headquartered in India. So I've lived in the US for more than 20 years. We're a global company, global clientele. However, we are largely known for doing CSR and activities have been in India. But my belief is that if we need to be global, we need to be able to do stuff locally and globally to be able to make an impact. So I so much appreciate this, and I do believe this is a first step in the right direction for us.
Absolutely. For our listeners, the Sustainable Diversity Leadership Award goes to a company that can showcase diversity on all levels, from the board level to leadership to the organization, is working effectively with it and also creating a culture of diversity. Just quickly, I am the founder of Girls in Tech Nordics. It is a non-profit organization for creating a sustainable flow of women in tech. How do you think this award now is going to help or promote, the continuation of diversity at L&T Technology Services?
So one, we do believe fundamentally that diversity in gender and race is very much required as you're trying to build a global business. I like to say global yet local, right? So it's important that you invest in communities that you're working in and you're working for. Gone are the days when you would take everything to a back office. It's all integrated. It's given the pace of digital transformation. It's all one world, right? And there's a lot of interdependency. So So diversity in race, diversity in gender is something we've been pursuing in a fairly significant manner. When we started about 15 years ago, I think our ratio of women in the workforce was less than, in our workforce, were less than 10. I appreciate, the management prior to me, the board, my own 4 years, we've been able to get to about 20% of the workforce as women.
Yeah.
Our stated ambition is to take it to 30%, and not just at the junior cadres, but across the organization. In fact, on our board also there are 2 women, and we continue to look at everybody and say, how can you bring that added advantage? If I look at race, in the US, we employ a lot of locals.
Yeah.
Same in the Europe,
Yeah.
and we would like to continue to do so. In fact, at this stage, there's one thing that we're working on in addition to diversity from a women or gender standpoint is actually trying to see if we can get people from US and Europe that would like to come and work in India for a period of 1 year, 2 years, provide expat assignments so they can start understanding the culture and the larger workforce can understand the culture.
Oh, that sounds so interesting. Have you raised that? I'm just curious. Have you raised that already, and have you got any takers?
So we currently have, I think, I can count on my fingers the number of people we've already got.
Yeah.
But I would like to take that, if I can, to about a 50-member team that can keep circling around between our centers, because I believe that will help us with a whole new dimension.
Absolutely.
See, the other thing that we haven't tried is we haven't tried to recruit fresh college graduates locally and have them work with us.
Yeah.
So this year, we're going to try and provide internship opportunities to some of the local graduates.
Yeah.
And then we'll build that up as we go along into providing local opportunities for people to join us and take it forward.
Listening to you, I clearly see the factors that contributed to winning this award. I have to say, when you were nominated, when L&T Technology Services were nominated, all I did was send an email to the contact there and said, you guys are nominated. Please send in your information, because I needed to send it further to the judges. And the judges were the Women in Tech Sweden, Women in Tech Iceland, Women in Tech Finland, and Women in Tech Denmark organizations. So it was fantastic to see that this jury got to see that you were the winners.
Thank you so much.
Clearly, I hear that it was well deserved. So let's go more to the fun stuff now with AI. Previously, at my role at Zenzact as Chief Digital Officer, and also when I was chairman of the Federated Learning Program, it was a program run with Volvo Cars, Zenzact, of course, AI Sweden, and Vinnova. And I got to see firsthand, the value of federated learning, the cost savings with data migration, data privacy. And now when I see that LTTS is working, leading the development of micro large language models on constrained devices, I'm thinking, how do you see this impacting, especially industries like automotive and healthcare?
For starters, AI, Gen AI, so if you look at AI, Gen AI, there was machine learning before that. So all of this, if you ask me, is a net positive.
Yeah.
Right? And here's why I say that. If I just take in the medical world, I just take chest x-rays and I take the case of, say, pneumonia or one of these lung diseases, chances are that leveraging AI and the engine that we built ourselves, you can look at those images, you can provide a sort of a pre-diagnosis, then the radiologist and the doctor can validate. I do believe it improves reliability.
Yeah.
It does take out human error, and given the fact that it's becoming more accurate over a period of time, it actually gets to faster diagnosis.
Yeah.
Take this now to places that are, say, rural Nordics area. Take it to rural areas where the doctor is maybe 50 miles away, 40 miles away. You can do a lot of this digitally without moving from your place.
Yeah.
Second, if you take, I take another example and I shift to automotive. But if I look at automotive and there's AI and that doesn't allow you to increase your speed beyond a certain time. All our children drive automobiles all the time and say we put a lock and say can't go above 70, can't go above 60. Now it calls for safe driving.
Yeah.
The point I'm making is that leveraging AI, you can improve the experience,
Yeah.
you can improve the reliability, you can also increase the pace, speed and scale. In our own company, we've been leveraging AI and Gen AI.
Yeah.
We've now filed more than 150 patents just in the AI, Gen AI space.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And we've been able to grow. So we'll grow organic about 8%. That's what we have told the market. And inorganic about 10%. So if I take that 8% year on year, that's coming without adding any headcount. We've been able to automate, and that doesn't mean we are replacing people. We're actually being able to improve the productivity of our engineers leveraging AI.
Yeah.
I was at GTC, the NVIDIA GTC last week. We unveiled a couple of solutions built on the NVIDIA platform. But that's not to say there's only one platform. There's a lot of others. We've been working with other hyperscalers as well. And I believe that, that AI, Gen AI is the future.
Absolutely. So I'm thinking, when and where could we expect to see this out in the field?
So some of these are already out there. So the Track AI got launched last week.
Yeah.
Endoscopy, colonoscopy example got launched last week. About 3 months ago, we launched our software-defined vehicle stack, leveraging AI and Gen AI for personalization. We've also got a digital cockpit that was launched with AWS earlier. So these are all in play, in production, on the floor, in usage right now. And it's on our website as well. And I believe that this is a big watershed moment, if you ask me, for the world in terms of technology steps as we go ahead.
I think this is so interesting. And with the healthcare specifically, is it more in use in India, you see, or is it irrespective?
So the medical part, I do believe, is actually globally, right? Very interestingly, I was with a physiotherapist for my shoulder about 2 weeks ago, and he was talking to me and he said, talk a little loudly. I want the voice recorder to pick it up because my AI assistant will then transcribe this and put it into the records, right? So it's already in play.
Yeah.
So I actually think this is a big positive as we go forward.
Yeah.
In fact, the thing that we should be deliberating is, does this therefore change the kind of skill set that we would need in the workforce?
Yeah.
And I think that would have been your next question.
Yes, indeed.
And I would say yes.
Yeah.
See, think about this. My son designs a website on his own. He uses various AI agents to program it.
Yeah.
And then he just troubleshoots and launches it. You can give so many other examples.
Yeah.
I believe that the need to have more logical thinking, to have more reasoning skills will be the order of the day as we go forward, because we will have to learn how to do this. Go back, and I don't want to date myself and tell you how old I am, but go back to the 1990s and there used to be this dot matrix printer and these huge computers and the laptop was a luxury, right? The first time I saw a laptop was 1996, right? And those are heavy, I mean they were not laptops, they were thigh tops, right? They were big. Now you take that and you look at where you are today, I mean even the watch can do a lot of computing.
Yeah.
And you can come back and tell me that that's taken 5 jobs away, but I don't think so.
No.
It actually has created new opportunity. It's created a new workforce. So the only thing that I would say is need to have agility to be able to churn and change as we go forward.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, because I think the World Economic Forum reported this year that around 92 million jobs will be displaced. But again, 170 new roles will be created. Yes. So I think, but then your workforce, you talk about agility, agree. But how are you preparing them to, face this whole new dimension and new way of working.
So we've
Or the
done-
new roles also, sorry.
Yes, yes. No, you're right. You're right. So we're doing 2 or 3 things, right?
Yeah.
One, from a company standpoint, we are actually bringing down the number of layers in the company, right?
Okay.
So we whatever number of layers we had in the company, I guess, we are bringing that down by 2, which is big for us because we've got 25,000 people. It's change, right?
Yeah.
So that's number 1. Number 2 is that we are creating smaller units that can face the market. And I always say this, that whatever decisions I got when I became CEO, whatever decisions I was making 4 years ago, in about a couple of years, and actually maybe 1 year, I would like 40% of that decision making to be made by the business unit rather than being made centrally. That is the only way we can do 3 things. We can respond to our customers faster. We can look at our employees and make local decisions. And third, we can actually focus on technology areas because technology is no longer a 10-year cycle, it's a 4-year cycle or a 3-year cycle. So you will need the agility to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Second, we've created something called a Global Engineering Academy. This allows us the ability to train people globally, virtually. So we run multiple programs. I'm happy to share that out of the 25,000 workforce, 8,500 people have already been trained on AI, Gen AI. Now, how do you take it forward is the next question, right? Simply put, we've been able to, and I was thinking that, these AI, Gen AI, when I started, is all for compute, storage, software. No. We are able to design bumpers. We are able to design car panels, doors, leveraging AI. We have started to leverage AI for plant design, for refineries, for CPG plants. Of course, we are able to bring down efforts as much as 40% on software testing.
Yeah.
So I believe it's across the board that we can see that impact. And so you can't say I am an AI programmer. Rather, you'll have to say I am a mechanical engineer, I'm an electrical engineer. I also have AI as part of my skill set. I mean, that's broadly how you think about it.
I'm reflecting back to what you said earlier, because I think that there's a fear that AI is going to take my job.
So AI will change your job.
Will change your job. But I think it's also quite important that the organization, that the employees are not, while doing upskilling and reskilling, it's important to also go out with that message. Or
So
you don't see that?
No, you're very right. See, the whole thing about and where organizations succeed and fail, if you ask me, is not around technology. They succeed or fail based on change management.
Yeah.
And it's very key. So you are absolutely right. So one of the things we've started in the company, so we've rebranded the company into Purposeful Agile Innovation, right? I mean, that's how we go to the market. And we're actually running programs and themes throughout the company. What does purposeful mean? What does agile mean? And what does innovation mean? And so we have the same behaviors, right? For agility, we've been talking specifically to our engineers about their ability to learn extra skills and being able to upskill, being able to take some of the work they're doing and take pride in the fact that they've been able to automate it so they can do more.
Yeah.
It's not, the war is not won yet, still at it, but yes, it's change management and we're working to it.
So I'd like to talk a little about your leadership, because clearly there's a fantastic leader in there. What are the leadership principles that you have, especially in this kind of an environment with emerging technologies, with AI? What's the leadership principles that you drive?
So when I became CEO, we created a 6-dimensional framework for all decisions. And I truly believe in that. So we said our input dimensions to our business are people, clients, and technology. Right? And we'll measure each of these.
Okay.
So clients, we want our clients to think of us as having anticipative execution capabilities and be able to deliver beyond what's asked for. For our employees, we said we will be above the median when it comes to compensation, but we will make it a point to offer you the opportunity to grow along with the company. So when we went from 15,000 people to 25,000 people in the last 4 years, 70% of all leadership appointments are internal.
Nice.
Right? Now I'd like to take it to 80%, but when you build a new business, there are times we pull an existing leader and provide the opportunity, at times we get somebody from outside. So I'm not saying we don't do lateral hiring, but largely provide internal opportunity. When it comes to technology, we said that we don't know what's going to change. And honestly, that's one fear I've got. I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow in technology.
No.
Right? So we said we will continue to scan and continue to look at what's the latest happening. Again, metrics. Look, I'm an engineer, so I measure everything. Right? So we used to file 25 patents for ourselves and 25 for our customers every year. Since I've been CEO for the last 4 years, the team and us together have delivered 25 plus 25 every quarter. So it's a 4x pace.
Wow.
Right? The participation on technical activities beyond billing for the customer has gone from less than 10% participation to 49% participation in the workforce. I want to take it to about 65. Right? So that's input dimensions. ESG is our governance dimension, and we continue to look at sustainability, we continue to look at governance principles, we continue to look at the environment and society as a key stakeholder as we go forward. And then our output dimensions are industry leading growth and profit margins. Now the reason I bring this up to you is that I have seen a number of people come back and not talk about top line or bottom line, even though they are led by shareholders, but talk about the other three. The one difference I believe in my leadership style is to be absolutely transparent and say it as you see it.
Yeah.
So we've got input dimensions, we've got governance dimension, and we've got output dimensions. All our decisions that we make in the company go through these 6, and we see, are we being fair, are we okay, and can we go forward? So that's broadly in summary how I see it.
That sounds really lovely, and I'm guessing then that you have a very, you've got 20,000 people, you said?
25.
25,000 people? It sounds like you have a lot of happy employees.
Look, we can't be everything to everybody.
No,
Again, I'll be very honest. I still worry about the fact, are we being fair at times?
Yeah.
Are we going too fast at times? The reality of the situation is that, look, we are not owned by any one person. We are publicly traded. We are all professionals. Even I am an employee of the company.
Yeah.
Right? We're trying to build a business for the future. You're trying to build a platform to take us to potentially $3 billion and build a platform from there to $5 billion. That's the legacy we want to leave behind. I'm fortunate to have an amazing leadership team that believes in the same dream.
Yeah.
And that, I believe, is the key differentiator that we bring to the workplace.
I absolutely believe that. And I think that for me, transparency, that is so important. So you got it all in place, Amit. I have one final question.
Sure.
If you had a superpower to help you create the impact and make it easier, what would it be and why?
It would be the ability to see the future.
Yeah.
All of us do, right?
Yes.
And I'll be very honest, there are times when you make decisions. So became CEO and we took this decision to create the 6-dimensional framework.
Yeah.
We then did workshops, and we bubbled up the values for the company.
Yeah.
And then we took the values, we got down to behaviors. Honestly, was there a book that told me to do it? No. I had got a lot of books from people that said, read this, read that, and I did that. Right? I'm not a very good student, so I said, let me do this. Right? But I didn't know it would succeed or not. Last year, based on the feedback we got from investors, our board, actually our chairman, we turned around and we created segments. And we said we'll run the company in 3 segments. That's how we go to the market, complete P&L end to end. It's kind of breaking the company in 3 parts. Now, did I know it would succeed? I had a hunch it would. Was I sure? I don't know. AI. Again, creating a CTO organization, which my predecessor did, and credit goes to him on that. But empowering the CTO, creating practice organizations within the units, and then asking them, very interestingly, not to have only people that are very senior, but actually get a bunch of junior, fresh talent in to do a mix and come up with new ideas. A lot of it succeeds, a lot of it doesn't. So the ability to look at the future and see what the decision will do is an amazing power to have. I don't think we have it, but that's the only thing I'd wish for.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I hear a humble, kind, and a generous leader.
Thank you so much. You've been very kind. I actually owe it to our leadership team and what we've been able to deliver. Thank you for having me today. Again, I do want to say that I do believe that, and we'd like to participate in the Nordic region with women in tech, girls in tech, because I believe that those are good steps to make sure that we can get to a diverse, multicultural workforce as we go forward into the future. So thank you so much.
Thank you. And thank you for listening. And if you haven't subscribed already, what are you waiting for? Thanks for today. Bye.
If you enjoyed this episode, please like and subscribe, and stay tuned for more.